Paul, just a little bit on Will Grigg first of all. I know you don't like talking about individual players, but his 50th league goal for Wigan Athletic, how big of an achievement, first of all, was that for the player?
I think it's very much an ongoing achievement, isn't it? I think Will looks in fantastic form at the minute. It's probably, I haven't seen a lot of Will, obviously, pre-Wigan, but he looks so fit and strong at the minute. The movement has always been there, but the movement for the first goal was fantastic. Great to see him playing so well and scoring goals and contributing to a good all-round team work ethic and performance at the minute, but we've got to stay with it.
What can young players watching Will and any would-be strikers out there growing up, what could they maybe learn from him? What aspects of his game shine through?
Well, Will's very much an unassuming type of guy. He just comes in and does his work and gets on with what he does well. He's very much got a proven goal-scoring record. Conducts himself. He's never a minute's problem around the training ground or in general. He's a really good lad. He's an integral part of the squad. The modern day younger lads coming through now, for me, don't work hard enough at the game or practice enough and stuff like that. For anyone who's trying to break into a good team or a good group, you've got to sort of get past the people in front of you. At the minute for us, the lads in front of people, and I'm talking about young kids coming through, I'm not talking about our squad, show a great appetite for the game, a great work ethic, add that to the ability and talent, and then you've only got a decent footballer.
Up front you've got options as well with James Vaughan. Devante Cole obviously came in as well. You talked at the time of Devante signing.
And Noel Hunt.
And Noel Hunt as well, don't forget about Noel. How do you keep, with those signings, say Devante, was that designed as well to also keep Will on his toes? How important is that he doesn't he doesn't get too comfortable in his position?
I don't think you've got to be careful with football and squads and different stuff, and for footballers in general, the biggest compliment a manager can do them or pay them is to keep picking them when they might be playing particularly well. So a squad size is important, but making changes for me as a manager isn't necessarily when people might think's correct time, i.e. you've lost a couple of games, so you desert your players. For me, having a good squad and a strong group means it gives the manager good options to basically adapt to a game or the game situation. Our group at the minute are a very strong group. Everything's going well for us, touch wood, but we know we've got to keep working hard. We're not, stupid, or we're not sitting back thinking, oh, we're 18 games to go in the league or whatever it is for everyone else, that everything's good. For us, it's just keep your habits going, keep working hard. For the lads out the team, showing training how much you want to be in the team. When you get your opportunities, for example, like last week, Ryan Colclough comes in for Gavin Massey. Gavin was just given a complete rest, a couple of days extra off. Gavin comes back into our team this week because he's been excellent. That's having a good squad. That's having players on side, we'd say, and all working for each other.
How do you keep those players happy? Those that may be third or fourth down the pecking order, how do you keep them buying into that ethos?
I struggle now. This is going to be my worst weekend of my life this weekend, because we've got every single pro fit. Nyon, Jordan Flores and Sean MacDonald have been doing bits and pieces with the youth team. The treatment room at the minute is empty, which is fantastic. Great credit to Procky and Nick and the medical staff. So for the first weekend it'll be a really tough one, not just picking a team, but picking a subs bench. And then we're going to take all the lads down. Everyone's travelling this weekend with us. We want the group to be together. I can't keep everyone happy. That's one of the things I apologise to players for. But the bigger picture is Wigan Athletic, the supporters and the result on Saturday.
Yourself, we hear a lot about pressure on managers maybe at the bottom of the table. What pressures are on managers at the top of the table? Because now you've got this unbeaten run since November. Do you feel a pressure to keep that going? How do you build on that? How do you thrive under that?
I keep looking for Shrewsbury and Blackburn's results at 5 o'clock every Saturday, and they keep winning both of them. I think pressure's in football for everyone. It's how you deal with it. It's, for me, I judge football, especially in a league campaign, at the start of a race and a finish. And I think for long distance runners, I think people who've ever ran long distance runs, in the midst of most runs, you will have good moments and bad. It's no different than football and league. You get the bumps and bruises. Come the end of the race, the finishing line, the first one to go across it will deserve to be there, in my opinion. So for us, it's very much focused on the next game and can we get 3 points.
Given the run you've been on, are you surprised then that Blackburn and Shrewsbury have kept up with you how they have? Is that something constantly looking over your shoulder?
I genuinely can say it doesn't. We'd love to be 20 points clear and mathematically nearly promoted. Football's not like that. For us, it's just about, them teams are doing fantastically well. They're having great seasons, individually and collectively as two teams. For us, we just keep going, keep working away and doing our best. That come the end of that race, our points tally deems that we're good enough to be promoted.
Long trip to Southend this weekend. Chris Powell, obviously recently in a job. A winning start for him as well, 2 wins. What do you know of the man? What do you make of him? What do you make of
I
him?
only know Chris over the years through playing against him, and obviously going into management. I think Chris had a really good time in general at Huddersfield. Do you know, the people there, Nick Colgan of our staff work with Chris. Everyone who comes across Chris speaks very highly of him. You know, my small dealings with Chris, Nick and a lad on loan and stuff like that, have always been the same. A really good man. You know, I can't speak about his football and pedigree because I haven't worked with him, but a very well-respected figure in the game. He's had a great start at Southend. Southend notoriously is a really difficult place to go. For any team who goes there, you have to work hard and do well to come out with anything. We're under no illusions how difficult it'll be tomorrow.
How are you expecting him to set up?
I don't really go involved in that sort of thing. You know, we'll analyse what they do and different stuff, and we'll prepare for the game. What Chris decides to do is Chris's objective.
He's obviously a former Southend player. He managed Charlton as well, a former Charlton player. You've experienced this here as well, being a former Wigan Athletic player. What emotions will he be feeling going back to a club where he represented as a player now to manage?
I think he'll be enjoying. I think after his time out or break, he'll probably have had good options to get back in, Chris, because of his pedigree within the game. So I think he'll have had time to watch games, watch the league, watch the division. He'll know Southend as a club. I think his talks with the chairman, still people who run the club then will have gone, this is what the plan is. I think when you join something like that, it's good to have a plan and where you all want to go. And I think at the minute he'll be enjoying every minute of it for sure.
And finally, back to that word pressure again, I suppose, that creates. You have that affinity with a club already because you've played for them. Does that mean that you have a bigger point to prove when you take a job at a former club?
No, you can only do your best. You know, it's like playing, managing's the same. You know, come the end of the week, if you've done all the things that you believe are correct to win a football game, then you can't do no more. Your players can't physically win every week. Do you know, I think Blackburn's unbeaten run ended last week after, was it 18? What a fantastic run. You know, great credit to everyone at Blackburn for that run. For them now it's let's go again and try and beat it. You know, in football every day is not a good day. You should enjoy the good ones because the bad ones aren't far away.